So we're with John Feehan, CEO of the Six Nations and the British and Irish Lions. John, with two games into the 2013 Six Nations series, how's it been going so far?
It's been going extremely well. We had an incredibly exciting first weekend, very close games, one or two unexpected results. Second weekend has followed through again, another fantastic weekend, and great viewership numbers, great interest.
Italy have been again something of a surprise package with their victory against France. What contribution have the Italians made since they joined the Five Nations to make it six?
Oh, they've been great. I mean, at the end of the day, they've bought into the entire thing that is the Six Nations, and that's as much about the fans travelling as it is about the teams travelling. They also, if you look at where they've come from, when I started 10 odd years ago, they were struggling to fill Stadio Flaminio with 28,000 people. They had over 60,000 people in the Stadio Olimpico the other day, so it's a fantastic story for them. They've sold over 180,000 tickets for the Six Nations games this year, so it's really very good from their point of view. And they travel well too. They bring great supporters along, and it's a great weekend. So overall, it's been a really good development for us.
And is the Italian team getting the respect and recognition it deserves at home in a media which is still obsessed to an outsider with football?
Well, it is. I mean, let's be brutally honest. Italy and football are synonymous. But having said that, certainly we're getting huge exposure there now that we never had before. The television audiences are growing nicely, and generally the level of coverage and the level of interest is far higher.
Now, there's a lot of rugby out there, as we all know, to the extent that national leagues don't necessarily stop when the Six Nations is being played. So against that background, what is it that makes the Six Nations so special and makes it such a powerful draw in the stadiums and on television?
I think it's got a couple of things going for it in terms of its level of popularity. Obviously, a great tradition. It's over 120 years old, and great rivalries have built up over that period of time. And I think that's part of the story. I think the fact that this huge flow of tens of thousands of fans across the different countries also adds to the landscape. You've got some fantastic cities to go to as well. It's a wonderful event in its own right, let alone the actual rugby. So from the point of view of all the bits and pieces put together, it showcases the best we've got up here in the Northern Hemisphere, and I think for that reason it's extremely popular.
And how does that popularity and the brand of the Six Nations translate commercially? Let's talk about television first. Is there any prospect of the Six Nations going in at least partially back onto paid television?
We've had a great relationship here in the UK with the BBC over 50 years, believe it or not. So it's been going a long time. The BBC have always prioritised the Six Nations as an extremely important property within their portfolio, which I agree with, by the way. So from that point of view, yes, of course we've had interest, but not just from other pay operators, but we've had it from other terrestrial broadcasters as well. So it's an ongoing discussion, it's an ongoing consideration, but the BBC have always stepped up and, paid a market rate for the Six Nations.
And as far as sponsorship is concerned, you've recently renewed the deal with RBS. Did you ever have any qualms given the issues around RBS as a brand in recent years about renewing with them?
Not at all. RBS have been extremely good to rugby. Everything from their grassroots program up to their international level with us in the Six Nations. They've been great partners over 11 years now. So from that perspective, I know there's a commitment from the bank. I know it works for them. It helps their business. So from that point of view, there was no issues from my perspective. They've been great and loyal supporters with us over a long period of time.
And was it a competitive pitch this way? Were there other brands in the frame for that title sponsorship?
I think it's fair to say that every time this comes up for renewal, there are other brands interested in the Six Nations. It is the biggest annual rugby tournament in the world, bar none. So from that perspective, it absolutely is something that major companies would like to look at.
Now, RBS are title sponsors, but they're not the only brands to hitch their wagon